Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our next episode of the MUKFIN Forum, a forum where we discuss with underwriters, managers in insurance companies all over Africa, and we discuss important topics in the insurance industry. Today, I'm talking to Thuso from the Kingdom of Lesotho. Thuso, welcome.
Very good afternoon, Mkonzo.
Afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm good. If I was in Maseru, I would have said Ntate Thuso.
And I would have laughed and said Ntate Mkonzo.
Yes. So give us a bit of your bio, your background. How did you end up where you are now?
All right. It's a pretty long one. As my background has got little insurance technical aspects in it. I studied at the university studying economics with a minor in statistics. Due to lack of job opportunities in that particular field, I had to divert like a little. I joined one broker in the Mountain Kingdom that actually gave me 5 years experience. I then moved from the bank, went into the banking industry, where I was superlatively looking at insurance disciplines. And then I was appointed there by my current employer as an underwriter since 2015. Then I've been working with them. Since then, I started as a junior underwriter, graduated into a senior underwriter. Then I started to take studies in the field of insurance, where I did the higher certificate in insurance, short-term insurance, to be specific. I then later deputed the underwriting manager that recently left, and I was appointed the underwriting manager, who I'm currently am to date.
You have done very well, so congratulations. And to confirm, I've been dealing with you since 2015. I should say you are quite a fine gentleman and professional of high standards in the insurance sector.
Thanks for that compliment. I'm sure I'm willing to do better. Thank you.
Now tell me, economics and insurance, where do these two meet? I'm sure someone should have seen something brilliant in your economics to say come to insurance.
Economics and other business-related studies actually are aligned with selling and marketing. And as brokers in the country, they're actually looking at people that can really sell and market and that have got background in the business setups. Indeed, at school, I did one module in health insurance at my final year. I think it was even part of my final project. And I felt I should actually broaden my understanding in that space. And I actually felt in love with the very first time I did sit in the insurance house. Then I took it from there.
Okay, so you sort of had an idea when you were still studying that there's this kind of business and this is how it works.
Correct.
Yes. Now you moved into the banking sector, did a good number of years there. Do you find that there is much different in practice between how business is done in the bank and how it is done in the insurance company, in the insurance industry?
I wouldn't say much, given the very fact that I was looking at insurance aspects only with the bank. So from broking in the insurance industry, going into the bank, doing insurance, and going back into the insurance industry, dealing with the insurance companies, to me, there was no actually much of a deviation in terms of what I'm doing currently.
So it was more of a bank assurance, stuff like that?
It was more of a bank assurance, stuff like that. Yes, you're correct on that one. I was mainly responsible in making sure that all properties that are financed by the bank are adequately insured with the appropriate insurance houses.
You have had a lot of time dealing with direct clients, one as a broker and two as an insurance officer in a bank assurance setup. What are some of the sentiments that your direct clients would say are of concern to them, or issues that are impacting them?
From the broking fraternity mainly, you'd actually understand that clients will much more concerned about their state of minds in terms of the properties that they've actually put money into them in trying to make sure that they're actually protected, and they will always actually try to find the best partner that will actually pay claims at the end of the day. We do have an experience in the kingdom where there were few players in the market, and you'd see one is favored over the other only because of its claims paying ability and consideration when there's a claim.
Okay. In terms of claims paying ability, do you think as the insurance sector we are matching expectations of clients?
I would definitely say that. As a broker, I basically didn't get any repudiation representing all of my clients, and that was actually giving confidence that the insurance business is actually doing good in meeting the promises that we are setting to the clients. And one would actually understand that insurance is more like a promise. We're not selling any tangible thing. So if the claim is not met, we are actually upsetting the small market that we already do have, like the ones that we have in Lesotho.
Lesotho, probably fairly small, but not so small. It's a big market, especially for the reinsurance sector. Do you find that useful to the market, or is there much value add from the reinsurance market?
Lesotho, it's not really small, but it is very small in this particular sector. And of course, it is actually developing kind of, and of course we rely mainly on the reinsurance market in terms of trainings, giving us capacities and all that. Therefore, reinsurance is actually playing a very big role in our market, and you'd find that most of the insurers that are in the country, they are still writing on the quota share basis. That is actually telling us that we really don't have that much capital to basically put everything else this side, and of course we need to ship it across the border.
Okay, that's a very interesting point. I think for our audience, we don't want to go too much into the technicalities, but it's actually very good to know that even us as reinsurance brokers, we are adding value in the market. Now, I want to go back to your experience. You obviously have quite in depth of underwriting and claims. Do you have instances where you think, as the insurance industry, we could have handled this better, we could have done this better, whether it's underwriting of a large policy or a specialized form of risk? Do you have those instances where you think, but we can always do better here?
Like I had already mentioned, we are kind of like developing in Lesotho, and of course there should always be a better approach to the way we're doing things. And I reiterated on the issue around claims paying capacities, and that is the very first thing that we basically look into when we try to find the reinsurance broker that is going to assist, or the reinsurance company that is going to give us capacity to check whether they are able to pay claims, or they are willing to pay claims, because capability and willingness is two different things. And again, of course, we would want, as the Kingdom of Lesotho, to actually broaden our skill in that aspect, and to some extent have one reinsurance broker that is actually working from the Kingdom of Lesotho. Right now we are relying on the reinsurance brokers that are working outside Lesotho. We don't even have a single one. We don't even have a single reinsurer in the country, and we're basically thinking for our retention of premiums, we probably need that kind of service in the country, and that is going to basically do better and well in trying to assist the market and growing.
I think that's forward-looking and obviously a very brilliant idea there. One thing that strikes me every time I come to Lesotho is the community is closely linked. The relationships are very strong. Everyone knows everyone. And I'm trying to tie this up with the issue about claims paying ability. You don't have the luxury of not paying claims, is it?
No, we really don't have the luxury of not paying claims because you're actually doing harm to your own sister or your own brother somewhere out there. And we try by all means to make sure that all our claims are actually met. Somehow, one way or the other, as an underwriter, I've actually seen that majority of them, even if they are not actually met as claims, one will always be looking that way and seeing whether there can be a business decision to be made, because we are really, really, really very related to one another, and not paying a claim actually has the next person and can actually grumble the entire market.
Yes. And I suppose that has got a lot of positives around it, because insurance is basically about peace of mind. So if you are able to assure your clients that when there are claims, we will settle claims and so forth, that actually ensures that the industry is sustainable in the long term.
That is very correct. That is very correct.
Yes. Now, what are some of the highlights of your career? You should have some interesting moments that you have had, some interesting incidences that you have had. What would be one or two of those?
Actually, starting fresh as an as a broker changed my heart did mold my heart in a very better way. I must actually say, and actually it actually even made me to forget my own profession, what I actually studied at school, and I fell in love with insurance. And being appointed again by Alliance Insurance, my employer right now, also changed drastically of my desire to learn more and broaden my scope and my understanding in the insurance industry. And I was basically not, I would say I was somehow favored in a sense that I really climbed the ladder really quick. I'm not even going to say because I was smarter or whatsoever the case would be, but I ended up being appointed the head of underwriting, and that was a huge responsibility, looking into the technical aspects of insurance. Now I was basically working more than 8 hours a day, and that actually made me to realize the growth that I've achieved in the insurance industry.
Yeah, and you know too, so you are one very smart guy. If you wonder probably why they were able to accelerate you so fast. But let's talk about you having to study insurance after having done another 4-year degree in economics and finding yourself having to go back to school. Was that necessary for you? Did you find it a bit difficult and disturbing for you? What was the motivation to do that?
I was not motivated by anything other than the complexity in the insurance industry. You learn a new thing every day, and there is a need for an insurance practitioner to go to school. We never cease learning in the insurance industry. I recall I actually came across something that I had to consult you in particular a couple of weeks ago, and that said to me again, you really need to learn even further. So that has always been the encouragement to say, for you to do good and to do better in the work that you're basically doing and the responsibility that one is given, knowledge is key. So that has been my driving force to say, go and learn, and I will never cease learning.
Yeah, and in terms of practice in the industry, are there any or is there any form of practice that you think, but this year definitely and surely our market should change, our insurance industry should improve? Anything you would want to pick on?
A lot of things, but I just have to pick one, because that actually changed the landscape in the insurance industry a lot. When the new players come into the market, they always feel like we need to fight and using price.
Yeah.
And that has actually shrunk the market. That has actually did make us not to have adequate pools to pay losses. And I so much feel like if the market can actually come together and try to see what is it that can be done to actually rescue the market from collapsing, it would be not to fight using price, but developing products that meets the client's needs, Basotho needs, that are specially designed for Basotho. Because right now we're actually currently selling the conventional policies that has been in the market for over 20 years. Yes, of course, we're trying to do a bit by trying to improve on those products, but we still believe that there should be products that are specifically designed for Basotho.
Yeah, so definitely there's need for innovation, customized products. And probably the price wars, you're saying they are not necessary, and that's a very controversial issue, because we have an old saying in the insurance industry that, you know what, let them misbehave, they'll bend their fingers at some point. You don't really trust that process, that if an underwriter comes, an insurance company comes, misbehaves in the market, they'll bend their fingers at some point. We let them do that.
It could be somehow understood that way. But like you have recently said that we are two related, and all the companies that are in Lesotho are actually generated by one company. We worked from one company, we did split, another one was formed, another one was formed, another one was formed. And so basically what they basically do is to get everyone there that is related to you, or the book that you're actually writing, and you put it on your book. And that split on its own is already killing us, given that we are very small. We have a very small market that is not that is writing very small premiums, if I can talk to that, and covering a lot of assets that are in the country. And we end up actually having much of the premiums on those big risks that are actually going out into the reinsurance market, and that is also making thinner the pool that we already have. Of course, one would actually be saying that let them bend their fingers, let them misbehave and bend their fingers. But one will also again ask, when are they going to be banned? So that they start to take corrective measures.
Yeah, I suppose it's a tricky situation. On one end, every client always looks for a cheaper price. If someone comes and say, I can offer you a cheaper price, they can take. But probably there is room for education, for conscientizing our clients in terms of, to say, you get what you pay for. At the end of the day, if they keep driving the prices down and keep accepting lower price, eventually they will get the service that they're paying for.
Correct. You're correct on that one. But we also cannot give a blind eye to the very fact that insurance is the crash purchase. It's actually the list on our budgets. So everyone else will actually do everything else and end up with insurance. But indeed, we do really need to do a lot of educational marketing, trying to make people realize the importance of buying correct insurance at the correct prices, whatever the case would be.
And if there's any young guy coming in onto the market, maybe they've just graduated from school and so forth, you obviously have one or two words of advice for them.
I've learned the easier way or the harder way, and one that I can basically say to a young entrant into the market is insurance is very interesting. It's not as easy as people perceive it to be. Yes, of course, we are selling a promise, but there's a lot of technical aspects around insurance, and we need to be a very seasoned insurance practitioner in that regard. And make sure that you don't stop learning. You continue to learn new things, learn new strategies, learn new approaches to insurance product selling, whatever the case would be.
Brilliant. Now, broker, underwriter, or banker, what would you pick any day?
If I have to, if I have to relive my life, I would not have left the broking fraternity.
Yeah.
And I will tell you why. That is the field where you're meeting the clients that you're serving. That's where you're actually making those relationships work best, where you really make the fulfillment of the promises that we are doing with the insurance.
Yeah.
And I'll definitely go back to broking. I wasted my few hours and seconds going to the banking, but I don't I don't say I don't like to be an underwriter. I really love to be an underwriter, but the higher you go, the further you go away from servicing the same clients that you are keen on servicing.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Thuso. It was nice having you, and definitely I think we have more to discuss, but not enough time on the platform.
Yeah, thank you, Mkonzo, for the platform created for me to be asked questions, and I really appreciated that. I really appreciated it.
Thank you.
Thank you.